All right, here we are, Fresh Cutters. Your host, Wes Hood. We are in week 2 of our NFL breakdown. We had a request come in, so we felt obliged to go ahead and act upon it. So as you know, we got Cody, the big dog, over here, and go ahead, get us cranked up.
Yeah, man. This is what the power of the fans. You ask for an episode, we're gonna give you an episode. This is how Fresh Cuts podcast work. So we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start into the NFC North Division. Last year's champion was the Chicago Bears at 11-6, following the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit Lions. Jumping into this year, we're gonna look at the over unders coming into this year. Right now, they get Chicago at 9.5. What are you thinking about that, Wes?
I like Chicago this year. 9.5 wins seems obtainable, but I am actually going to go under on that. I think they win 9 games this year. It's a really tough division. I'm sure we're going to break that down with the next 3 teams, but I'm kind of going out on a limb and I'm going under on Chicago. I bet you're contrarian to that.
Yeah, I got Chicago over, but not. I think this division is so tough. This is when I was doing my prepping last night for tonight's episode. I was really stuck on this division. I thought that really between 3 teams, Chicago, Detroit, and Green Bay. I just think it's just going to be such a fight between those 3 teams. I do like Minnesota. I just don't know how first year Kyler Murray is with that whole team and that new playbook and new weapons. But I got Chicago at over at 9.5. Going to Detroit. Detroit is actually at 10.5. That's a high number. What do you think, Wes?
I'm going over on that. I think Dan Campbell rights the ship here. We've got the offensive player of the year, not the offense. Did Gibbs win it last year? Am I tripping?
JSN won it.
Yeah, excuse me. Gibbs definitely probably the number 2 candidate there. So I think they pick it back up, and I like Detroit to get probably about 12 wins here.
Man, Wes, usually to start out an episode, me and you are like tied at the hip like a couple of twins, but we're actually going a little bit different this time, man. I got under right here. I got under 10.5 right here for the Detroit Lions. I
The
still don't
defense.
trust the defense. I don't like the Terry and Arnold thing. That was one of their best cornerbacks, and of course he got in trouble, and he's the whole jail thing and everything like that. But I saw also they hired a new offensive coordinator, and it's not been the same since Ben Johnson's left. So I still need to kind of see it before I can fully trust it. Next team up is the Green Bay Packers, also at 10.5. What do you think about that?
I'm going under on that. I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. And again, I know it sounds funny because I'm picking right at it, but I think 9 or 10 wins, and that's all it is for Green Bay this year.
There we go, man. It took us the third team in, and we're agreeing on something. I also have under 10.5 for the Green Bay Packers. I just don't trust their offensive weapons. I thought one of their best wide receivers was Romeo Dobbs, and now he is a Patriot. I don't try, I love Christian Watson, but Christian Watson's never healthy. He is never healthy. I think he's a super duper talent, but I just don't trust him. And I just don't trust Jordan Love. I watched the Panthers go into Green Bay last year, and Jordan Love threw a couple of interceptions. The offense didn't do anything. And I also don't know what the whole Josh Jacobs situation is. You know what I mean? I don't know if NFL is going to investigate in something. Maybe he might have a suspension. Who knows? But I also got under for the Green Bay Packers. And
Yeah.
last team
Oh,
coming.
oh,
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 go
I
ahead.
was going to say about Jacobs. I think he's going to get cleared of all that.
Mm-hmm.
We did a little fantasy podcast before, so I do think Jacobs is going to be okay with that, whether or not that affects him. But I'm going to go back to the Christian Watson injury. I heard a stat the other day that Matthew Golden, or no, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, and Tucker Kraft have never taken a snap together at the same time.
There you go. There you go, man. I
So,
think that
so that's just something to think about. That's why I went under. But I digress. Go ahead. Finish up with Minnesota, Cody.
Minnesota is at 8.5. What are you going with that?
I'm going under. I could get proven wrong if Kyler Murray is like he was in probably maybe his rookie or sophomore year. I think they've got potential. They have a really talented team, arguably the best coach in this division of four great coaches, in my opinion. But I have Minnesota going under. I'm looking at like 6 or 7 wins and bottom of the barrel. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I also had them going under right here. Like you said, I just don't quite trust that offense yet with Kyler Murray. I don't quite, don't know what I'm gonna get yet, and I still don't try, quite trust their defense yet. They don't really have that star on defense. I really like Jonathan Grenard, their defensive end last year, and now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. And so I don't really know that guy who I can point at that defense and be like, this guy can, he can take over on third down, or this guy right here can shut down a wide receiver right here. I just can't find that guy on their defense, so that's why they're under for me. So go ahead and give me your top four rankings going into the season for the NFC North.
So I've got Detroit winning the division. I think Chicago is going to get the 2 seed and could possibly sneak into the playoffs. I've got Green Bay and then Minnesota. So where are you
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, I just got it flip flopped at the top. I got Chicago winning back to back, and then I have Detroit, and then I also have Green Bay and Minnesota flanking up the rear. Uh, but I'm like you. I'm really flip flop on this. I hope nobody pulls this back up in the history and comes at me if Detroit dominates and says, "Man, Weston was more smarter than you on this." But the reason I went Chicago is just because we're going into year two of the Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, I guess relationship, friendship, coaching quarterback, and as we've seen in the past with guys like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, or that coach quarterback play caller, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford,
Oh,
when they first got together.
I
I feel
agree.
like when you have that coach and quarterback really good continuity, I really think it takes that team to a whole nother level. And so
And
that's why I just got it slightly above the Detroit Lions.
no, and I totally get it. And the only reason why I'm a little, Detroit's defense was bad because they were hurt. That I would be willing to bet that was the most injured defense in the entire NFL. Chicago's defense was really not good. Chicago turned the ball over quite a bit. So when you mentioned Ben Johnson and we mentioned Colston Loveland last week. The offense doesn't bother me. If we're doing a fantasy episode, I may put Chicago over Detroit. It's just the defense. So anyway, we're really close on that. I love it. I'll go ahead and lead us into the South, our favorite division. I'll start at Tampa Bay. We've got them in 8.5 wins. Baker with a little contract dispute. We've no Mike Evans for the last decade for the first time. So where are you at? 8.5 wins, over under.
This might shock a lot of people, but I have under. I don't like what I'm hearing right now in training camp. I think right now all I hear is just poison, poison, poison with between Vita Vea and Baker Mayfield. I just hear poison. I don't hear any team. I don't hear any, hey guys, we really love each other. We're going to really fight for each other. I hear money. I'm not getting my money, and I don't like that. And I don't like the people who are running this organization. That's what I'm hearing. And when you go into a season like that, we have seen in the past how players or organizations have contract disputes, and it really doesn't go well for the team. I point back to Terry McLaurin last year. Now, I know a lot of things went wrong for Washington, but Terry McLaurin, he had a terrible year last year. He was also injured, but maybe if you're not injured, you because you missed training camp. And so I got under right here. I know a lot of people will probably disagree with that.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not a lot of people, but I'm some people, and I don't disagree with it. I have under for a lot of the same reasons. The Vita Vea thing, that's going to, if he doesn't get traded, that's going to explode. I don't I don't love quarterback. It wasn't like the Dak thing when it was like, Dak had already been paid pretty well. This is like they threw some BS numbers at him according to Baker, so I don't love that. And no, Mike Evans, he's kind of the team leader, and that's that plays a huge part in it. And they did not cover the spread one time in the last 8 games last year, and they were favored in 7 of them. So if you go 8-9 like the Panthers did, or some of the other teams, and you had some losses sprinkled in there, that's a lot different from finishing the season in the dumpster. So I agree with you. 8.5 wins under for both Cody and I. Cody, I had Carolina at 7.5, but at one point there are some people that are saying 7.5, but there were a lot of people saying 6.5. So we're going to go on Carolina 6.5 here, and I think this is easy. It's over. And we've had a lot of injuries. Scorton, he wasn't exactly proven. I don't love the Moton thing. The wide receiver Brazil from Tennessee, that really hurts. But those weren't our main pieces. So I have Carolina over 6.5. That's an easy bet for me. What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, this is probably the easiest bet we're going to do all night with the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers, with their roster last year, still won 8 games. And then you go ahead and have a second year of Ted Roll and McMillan, and then adding Jalen Phillips to the defense and adding Devin Lloyd, who was second team All Pro at middle linebacker. And then you also got a second year of one of the best cornerback duos in the NFL that nobody talks about, and
Mm-mm.
J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson literally, it was getting like 2 picks off of Matthew Stafford in that Rams game. I mean, he was literally number one in man coverage last year in all of the NFL. And so I think a lot of people are just sleeping on that defense. And also, you got to remember, we got probably the best defensive tackle in all of the NFL. And I would love to have an argument with somebody to argue me on that with Derek Brown. And so with that defense, and hopefully we see Bryce Young take that next step. Yeah, easy over 6.5.
Yep, totally agree there. Next, I'll go to the Falcons at 7.5 wins. I just don't think they get it done because I think there's going to be a quarterback controversy between Tua. If they would just pick one or the other, I might go over just on talent. Again, this isn't the fantasy episode here, so I'm going over 7.5. And I hate to go back to the NFC North, but it might be right at 7. But I don't know that they get 8 wins.
I totally agree with you on the whole quarterback situation. A NFL Hall of Fame coach once said, if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. And that's how I feel right now. That was the great Bill Parcells that said that. Uh, I feel like if Tua throws 2 interceptions, then everybody's gonna be screaming for Penix. And if Penix comes in and throws 2 interceptions, everybody's gonna be like, Tua, get back out there. And so I just don't trust what's going on with the quarterback situation. Also, it's a whole new coaching staff. It's a whole new scheme, both offense and defense with Kevin Stefanski. And so I actually got under 7.5 right here for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep, as do I. So, but this one right here pissed me off a little bit. New Orleans. No offense, shout out to my coon ass sisters down there that love the Saints. I do have love for the Saints, but 7.5 wins. Well, don't give me this at the end of the season. I know I just referred to Tampa Bay having a bad end of the season, but what is this, Tyler? Last year we were doing Uncle Rico memes with Tyler Shuck, and now they're trying to anoint him. This one's probably as easy as the Panthers one was going over. I go under 7.5 right here. Kamara is toast. ETN. I mean, it's cool that he's going back. I think he's from New Orleans, isn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just don't like it. I think they win 5 games. Taysom Hill, he's out, right? And so another leader under 7.5.
Man, I hope your whole point is true. I actually got them going over. The bad thing is we saw last year the Panthers lost twice to the Saints. And I just thought that with Kellen Moore's first year and his first year with Tyler Shuck, and they have, adding Travis Etienne, and they also drafted Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. I think the offense gets better. And I don't think that's a good thing for the Panthers. I hope, like I said, I hope you're right, Wes. I hope we smoke them and get our revenge from last year. But I actually got the Saints going over to 7.5.
Yeah, and again, I agree with you. The offense is going to get better, so they'll win more than would they win last year? 5 games, so they might win 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, they
Um,
won 6 games. Yep.
I just don't know if the defense is going to hold up. But again, sexy team. Yeah, I'm cheering for Shuck and all of them, and I would love to see. I know they're in our division, but when Kamara was doing his thing, I mean that was really fun. So uh, I've got Carolina 1, Falcons 2, Tampa 3, and New Orleans 4. I bet we're pretty close on that, except we probably got New Orleans switched around a little bit. Where are you at, Cody?
Yeah. So I'll try not to sound too much of a homer. So this is Fresh Cut Podcast, not Panthers Podcast coming at you. I actually got New Orleans number one, and then I got Carolina number two, and then I have Atlanta number three, and then I have Tampa number four. And so, like I said, I just really think that. I really hope, of course, me being a Panthers fan, that Carolina Panthers are number one, and that's what I expect from the Panthers. I just think that last year when we played the Saints, they kind of were just one step ahead of us and Dave Canales, and so that's why I had the Saints over the Panthers. And also, you got to remember they're going to have that fourth place schedule, so a little bit of easier schedule. Uh, but I think a lot of people are going to be shocked that we have Tampa. Both of me and you pretty much have Tampa toward the bottom of
Mm-hmm.
the NFC South.
Yep, yep. Speaking of another conference that's up for grabs, why don't you start us off with the NFC East here?
Yeah, so the NFC East actually started last year, won by the Philadelphia Eagles, the first back-to-back champion since in 20 some years, like 22 years or 23 years. It's always been somebody new. But last year was back-to-back championships. Philly was one, Dallas was two last year, Washington was three, and New York was four. Starting off with Philly, Philly is at 10.5 going into the season. What do you think about that, Wes?
I've got Philly getting more than 10.5 wins here. I know AJ Brown left, but they drafted that stud wide receiver. I'm drawing a blank, Lemon, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think he fills in nicely, and I have him winning 11, 12 games easily.
I'm actually going right at under for the Philadelphia Eagles. I actually got them right at 10. And so it's at 10.5. I got them right at 10. I think they're actually going to struggle a little bit this year. Uh, just because I just think that everybody has like kind of seen the way they played before, and they kind of know their next step. Not saying that this new offensive coordinator is not going to be more innovative than their last one. I completely expected the offense to be going pretty good. It's just that you kind of just know what you're going to get. I don't see on defense they still got some good players, of course, but I just don't know that they have enough guys to be that elite top tier team in the NFC this year.
Yep. Yep, we shall see. So you've got them going under there. This was another one that I thought was kind of easy. I'm going to move on to Dallas here. 8.5. I think they go over on that easily this year. I like Dallas. I know everybody likes to clown on them. And as I told you earlier, the season hasn't started until you get the Dallas memes. We them boys. So, and I'm starting to get them, which is great. So I got Dallas over 8.5 here.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is also an easy bet. This is going to be, I think Dallas is going to be a really, really good team next this upcoming season, and so and also Pickens, being franchise tag, he wants to get that big money, and so you're talking about the probably the best wide receiver duo in all of the NFL with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So that's an easy over.
Yep, totally agree there. Next, I'll go to the Scatterboo flipping New York Giants, 7.5 wins. I love the story and everything. I'm pulling for them, but I have them going under here.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I got them going under. Just don't quite trust the health yet of all the guys. You know what I mean? Scadaboo, of course, was injured. Neighbors was injured last year. Dart had a ton of concussions. I'm hoping that everybody stays healthy this year because they're a lot of fun to watch. But this will
Yeah,
be a new offense,
totally
and
that, you know?
yeah. And so this will be a new offense, and their defense is going to be good. Their front seven is going to be good. They got a million outside linebackers, but I don't trust their cornerbacks quite yet. And I just mentioned two guys that you got to cover twice a year, and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and I don't know who's going to cover them on the
Yep,
Giants.
yep, totally agree. So we're both going under on that. And I hate it. I know it was a good story with old Jaden Daniels, and I think he may have a decent season this year. But I have Washington bottom of the barrel here in the NFC East. And a little side note, I think Dan Quinn is the first coach fired this year. And I just don't like it for Washington. 7.5 wins. I'm going under, under, under. Where are you at, Cody?
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know where Daniels is health wise, and this is going to be a new offense, new offensive coordinator. I don't know how Terry McLaurin is going to be. We didn't hardly see him at all last year, and I don't know who their offensive line is. I know they got Larry Tunsil. I don't know who they got at running back. They had that dude, was his name Bobby last year? They named Bob or something like that, or
Yeah. Gosh, McCorsky or something like that.
yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
And so I heard that the wide receivers are Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, brother of Christian McCaffrey, and then also Traylon Burks. If anybody knows who that is, old Tennessee Titans
Yeah.
first round pick. So I don't trust that at all.
No, no, neither do I. Sorry, I got an alarm going off. Yeah, so we both have Washington plummeting there. Last division we have here is probably the best division in football. Uh, Three-headed monster with who knows there at the end. Again, spoiler alert. I'll start it off with the Rams. There's been back and forth on this 10.5 and 11.5. I will tell you, I like over in either situation, but if you can get in somewhere at 10.5, I think it's a no brainer. I think the Rams are as advertised, and yeah, they're going to be good. This is a potential 13 to 15 win team here, and they didn't have the hardest. They don't have the hardest schedule like a lot of times when you have the number one team coming in. So I've got the Rams over 10.5, no doubt, and over 11.5 even.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I got the Rams over the 11 and a half. I think they're going to win around 13, 14 games. I totally agree with you. Uh, the first time that you're going to have an MVP and a defense player of the year on the same team, and so it's going to be very fun to watch. And like I said, you got Matthew Stafford won the MVP last year. Puka is an unreal wide receiver. Devontae Adams still got it, and so yeah, the Rams are going to be well as advertised.
Yeah, a good call on the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I didn't even realize that. Next, we'll move on to the San Francisco 49ers. Got a lot of injuries. Kyle Shanahan knows how to really get a drive going on the football field. Unfortunately, does not know how to drive in real life, and even he's injured. I don't think that'll have much to do with their success. And to prove it, they're 10.5 over under. I have them going over here, and I think they really chase the Rams this year. And I like McCaffrey to have back-to-back good seasons. So I like San Francisco over 10.5 here. Where are you at, Cody?
I am the opposite, man. I actually got them going under. I actually think this is going to be another tough year for the Niners. I just I hate to say this, but I just need to see more from their offense. Now, not saying that Mike Evans can't bring uh, that more to the table, but we're also talking about a Mike Evans that missed 7 to 8 games last year, and he's going to a 49ers team that is always injured. That kind of doesn't make sense, but I hope everybody does stay healthy. But George Kittle's coming back from an injury. Joey Bosa's coming back from an injury. Fred Warner's coming back from an injury. Not saying that these guys are going to get injured again. I don't wish that upon anybody. But you just kind of, all right, I do want to see it first. I want to see how they
Yeah.
all play together. I don't like I said. I want to see how Brock Purdy does. He's been playing for the Niners for a while now. Can he take that next step? Not a lot of people talk about Brock Purdy in that conversation, but we need to start talking about it. He's getting paid really well for the Niners, and somehow we don't talk about him as oh, he should be traded or he should be cut or they need to get rid of him. No one says anything about Brock Purdy. But you hear about things about C.J. Stroud and Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young. But you don't hear much about Brock Purdy. I think he really needs to step up and show more people. Hey, you're part of this big franchise that is a historic franchise. You need to step up, or you're going to be the next one out.
Yeah, yeah, another good call on that. I definitely see that, but I do think he steps up. So another contrarian pick from Cody and I. Finishing up here, we'll go to Seattle, 10.5 wins. I hate to do this, and Cody knows this inside joke, but we can't all hit home runs, right? And so you gotta let everybody know when you strike out. And one of my one of my proclamations last year was Seattle would take a step back with Sam Darnold coming in. And obviously, that was a bad pick here. So I feel bad taking Seattle under 10.5 here, but I think there's a little bit of Super Bowl hangover possibly. I do like the fact that, they're under the radar, which is really good, but I've got them going under 10.5 wins in a really tough division and the number one and a really tough schedule.
Wow, this is good. This is definitely going to be the part that everybody's going to be like, "What? The Super Bowl champions going under 10.5?" So it's either 10 or 9 wins
Yeah.
for Seattle. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
also disagreeing with you on that. You're talking about the Offensive Player of the Year in JSN. They also have Cooper Cup and Rashid Shaheed. That's right. And
Yeah.
one of the best kick returners and punt returners in the NFL. And so I like their offensive line. It's a young offensive line that's always going to keep on getting better. And we're literally talking about the best defense in the NFL last year. I mean, Devon Witherspoon is one of the best cornerbacks. They had a great defensive line led by Leonard Williams and good linebackers and one of the best safeties in Imamori. And so, I mean, I really like the Seahawks being at, I'll take the over the 10.5. I think it's easy for me. But I think they just keep on rolling with this with both offense and defensively.
Yeah. Yep. Again, I could get proven wrong. That's why I led with that nice little nugget. And we'll finish up here with the Arizona Cardinals. And I think it's quite fitting. They may be the worst team in the NFC this year. I don't like that their starting quarterback is Jacoby Brissett, and they're in a contract dispute. This isn't Baker Mayfield, somebody that's proven, or Dak in the past. So I love the, no pun intended, Jeremiah Love coming in. I would really love to see Marvin Harrison Jr. You and I always kind of had a thing for him in fantasy. We normally picked him, and he just never quite went over the top. I would love to see it. 4.5 wins is really low. So they're definitely going to win more than 3 games, but I really don't know, and so I'm going to take a crapshoot here and say that Arizona squeaks out 5 wins, and I'll take the over here.
Oh man, you're doing better than I am, man. Yeah, I tell you what, I like you giving them credit more than I am. I actually got them going under here. I totally agree. I don't.
Yeah.
I truly with the whole like you said Brissett thing. They did settle on a contract recently, just like a 1 year deal. Uh, and then they drafted Carson Beck in the third round in this past year's draft. It's a brand new coach, brand new coaching staff. I truly think that the Cardinals want to be in the quarterback sweepstakes for next year's draft. You're
Oh, yeah.
talking about Arch Manning, Dante Moore, maybe like a Trinidad Chambliss. So I really think they want to get one of those guys. And if you want to get one of those guys, you got to be in at least the top 2 to top 3 in the draft. And so therefore, I got them going under the 4.5 to get one of those guys in next year's draft.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, if I miss that one, it is what it is. So I'll go ahead. My rankings: I have the Rams first, San Fran second, Seattle third, and Arizona fourth. But those 3 teams the top 3 could make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they
Yeah,
made it the last year.
yeah.
Would you say you had San Fran at
I got San Fran at
second?
2. Yeah, I got them right. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I got Seattle going back to back as champs. Uh, and then I got Los Angeles at number 2, San Fran number 3, and then Arizona number 4, just like last year.
Okay. Yep. Well, really, we got the middle 2 pretty good, and then the outside, the north and the west, we got mixed up a little bit. But there's your over under rankings here. It's getting about that time. You make sure you get your DraftKings account all up so you can start putting these future bets in. Uh, so again, a couple of those that we really hammered in with Carolina and Dallas. And what was the other one that we had the under on really? Green Bay. So go ahead and get those bets in. As you know, we still have the merchandise here. You can scan the code. And just like my Uncle John did, shout out to him. He made comment about the over-unders. Cody and I loved it. And so we did the NFC this week. We're going to do the AFC next week. And then it's just football from here on out. So, Cody, you have any last words before we send them off?
I mean, just thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure everybody goes to our YouTube channel, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know we're getting a lot of Facebook viewers and we're getting a lot of Instagram viewers, but everybody just go over to the YouTube channel, watch the full video. You can also comment there, like, subscribe. and so we can get our subscribers up, so we can start going live maybe during some Sundays. Maybe we can get together on some Sundays and do some live games. So that would be
Yeah,
very fun. Throw up some red zone or something like that, and do fantasy breakdown and live breakdown of the games live on a Sunday. So make sure you subscribe so we can start doing those things for the future.
100%. Just thought about it with the game that we're going to go to. Um, that's about our 1 year anniversary. So maybe live at
Yeah,
the game. Who knows?
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
uh, I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be throwing little snippets on all the social media platforms, and but you will have to go to YouTube to see the whole video. So again, Cody and I thank you so much for all your viewership, and we will be here again next week breaking down the AFC. Cody, it's been good.
Yeah, man.